Mr. Stringfellow,
Not here.
Miss Shute,
I'm here.
Gary Stitzer,
Here.
Jay Jackson, Jessica Uhas,
Not here.
Chairman Paul Zanarski.
Here. Thank you, Margaret.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Public hearing. First item on the agenda is Carol Selena requesting preliminary plat approval of a 2-lot subdivision to be located at 8282 Cole Road. It's zoned RA. We talked last time. Carol, please. Is anybody here to comment on Carol? Not on Carol, but on her. on her property. We love Carol. On her property. No. Did we get any memos, any emails, any phone calls? No.
No.
Okay. Do we have any comments from the board?
No.
All right. We have to make two motions then. One motion is a negative deck on the.
Sarah's gonna.
Could you
I'm sorry.
close the public hearing?
I'm closing the public hearing. Good. Thank you. Okay. The first motion is to accept the seeker with a negative declaration. I need a
I'll second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed? Okay. Seeker has passed. Second is to accept the 2-acre lot subdivision as submitted. I mean, a 2-parcel subdivision. I'm sorry, as submitted.
Acre.
What's that?
2-lot subdivision.
2-lot subdivision. Yes. All right. Do I have any comments? Can I have a motion?
I will move
Where are you moving to?
to approve the subdivision.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. You've got it. That's pretty easy stuff. Okay. Now, Sarah, she goes to see the assessor and you'll get your SBL numbers. Then you can pay taxes on 2 lots now. Okay. So you're all set. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming in. That's okay. The second item under new business, Julianne Galuzzi requesting preliminary approval of a 2-lot subdivision to be located at 6983 Ward Road. Who do we have here?
I'm Julie Galuzzi.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
I'm
Can
here
you,
for my son.
okay.
He couldn't make it today.
Got it. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Yeah, on my property,
Is that
I
mic
gave
on?
my son. I gave my son a portion of the property to build a house on.
Okay.
There was an old house there.
Yep.
That was grandfathered in from years ago. We tore that down. He's going to put a house up there. So we're just trying to get it divided up
Okay.
and approved by the town.
Has everybody had a chance to take a look at
This is the Ward Road, correct?
Ward Road?
Mhm.
Right. I have to tell you, that is probably the nicest submission on a subdivision that we've ever had.
The nicest what?
Submission, as far as the paperwork that was submitted to us. It
Thank
was neat as a pin,
Thank you.
and your attorney did a good job for you on that.
Thank you.
It was nice. I always have a little bit of a deal when we have 3 acres that it has to be, and it comes out to 3.02 acres. It's like, what is that? Like, but you did it. Also, the setbacks looked okay on the existing buildings. So you have conforming lots on both, which we had to take a look at. So it's basically a formality at this point in time. And what's going to happen is we will schedule you, we'll make a motion here to schedule you for a public hearing, just like this lady had, okay?
Yeah.
So in 1 month, you come back. At that time, if there's nobody here complaining about what you're doing, if there's any problems with what you're doing, if we get emails or texts on what you're doing, we discuss it there. But it's just for the town to know that you're doing 2 conforming lots. Okay, so that's where you're at. So I'll make a motion that we schedule a public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so come back next month and it should be a
What's the date?
Second.
Tuesday.
Second Tuesday of April?
Yes,
Same time?
same
Yes.
time.
Okay.
And you'll be in and out because you'll be number 1 on the agenda for public hearings. It's the first item on the agenda.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next item of business, MCD Solutions Incorporated, requesting site plan approval of a storage area for Marksman Fence Incorporated to be located at 8219 Boston State Road, Zone C1, but they got a variance. Can you introduce yourself and please tell us what you're doing?
I'm Mark Dobson. I'm the owner of MCD Solutions and also Marksman Fence.
And also what, I'm sorry?
And Marksman Fence.
Marksman Fence, okay.
Yeah.
Can you speak louder into that mic? Pull it up.
So what we're looking to do is get our site plan approval so we can go ahead and start proceeding with what we got approved with the zoning board use variance to go C2 for an outdoor storage unit. So what we want to do is we want to start our plans on that, get it all fenced in. And then we're eventually going to be putting a building down the road. But at this point, we're not ready to bring that to the building. The planning board. We have to go through the zoning board because based on our size, we're probably going to have to go for a variance on that also.
Okay, so this really isn't a site plan approval though. We have nothing.
Well, we're calling it the site plan approval of a storage, of
A storage yard.
storage yard.
Okay,
And then they'll have to come back for site plan approval
Of the building.
building.
We're not ready for the building yet. Building might not happen till the end of this year or the beginning of the following year. But we need to get the site plan done, get the fence in, so we can start operating out of the C2 use variance that we are approved of the zoning board.
okay. Questions? From the board. Okay, I'll start.
Yeah, I don't know.
What you guys are thinking. Is it going to be paved?
No. It will not be paved. We'll have crushed concrete for the entranceway and also the actual lot itself will be
Okay.
crushed concrete.
Is it going to be lit?
Makes the driveway removable. The fact that it's crushed concrete.
Yeah.
This is, you're gonna be paving, that makes the driveway removable.
Well, I think if they were paving, we'd have to talk a little bit about runoff and things that
Yeah.
way too.
No, what we're doing is we're just taking whatever the grade is right now, taking the topsoil off, and we're going to replace it with the crushed concrete. We're not changing the elevation at all. We have a topo that we looked at, and the site is naturally higher than where everything is, so we're not going to interfere at all with the drainage. Drainage that comes off of the back by the power lines
Yep.
is not going to be touched at all because we're a good 50 to 60 feet away from where it actually drains down naturally right now.
Okay. My bigger concern with drainage going into the building down below you.
No, we're not going to interfere with that at all. We're going to have a horseshoe driveway on both sides.
Yep.
And the building will be back up on top of it.
All right.
So this is
Is
going around People's Inc. Is that the
Correct.
location?
Yes. So we're going to come out on what they call Tom Drive.
Yep.
There's going to be an area, and then we own the property between Beauty Salon and the People Incorporated.
Okay.
And we're going to come up through there so we can bring our tractor trailers in here with the materials and come back out Tom Drive and not interfere with Boston State Road at all. And we're going to be back far enough from the back fence line of People Incorporated, which is our property line. We're going to be at least 60 feet back from where our driveway is going to start. And then our building lot is going to be another 200 feet behind that.
Yeah, I was down there today, taking a look at it.
Mhm.
Not walking your property, but driving up.
Everyone does.
Driving up, yeah, it's a little bit of an issue. I drove up the road and took a look and saw your survey flags. And
Yeah.
is it going to be lit?
Yes, we're going to light it.
We need a plan.
I'm sorry, what?
We need a lighting plan.
It's going to be solar is what it's going to be.
No, I don't care what the
Okay.
Power.
energy source is. We care about the lights and where they're positioned.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason for that is if you're going to do it, okay, the trend is to get some powerful LEDs and plop them right in the middle of the yard and shine them all different directions outward. And what we're looking for is shielded inward. So you can do perimeter lighting,
Mhm.
but downcast inward.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're going to probably end up doing. It once we get the site done, before we put the building in, we'll come in with our site plan and we'll light it up probably when we put the building there.
Okay, but it's not going to be lit now.
No.
Okay, good. The other thing I noticed is you're shielded pretty well from People Inc. Obviously, the power line, who sees it? Your road, who sees it? There's a house on the northeast corner of your property, or not of your property, but on the northeast corner.
Correct.
Um,
If you see that when the foliage is in, you can't see that house.
Well, sure, but the foliage is off 6 months of the year here.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you propose for a fence?
We're going to do a 6-foot chain link fence, commercial fence.
How about a solid fence?
Problem with that is they're not commercial fences. I mean, that's what we do. Marksman Fence put fences up. So for us to put a residential fence up there, longevity is not going to last as far as a wooden one. What we can do off the back side, if the customer is, or I'm sorry, the people that live there are complaining, we can put slats in it. And we can
At 4 foot, what's the height of your machines?
heights of our, what we mean.
What are you going to store in there? Are
We
they going
have
to be dump
material-
trucks? Or are they going to
building
be
material
this material?
for the
No
fence.
trucks.
We'll have dump trucks,
How high are they?
8 feet, 9 feet.
What good's a 4 foot fence?
It's a 6-foot fence.
Oh, I thought you said 4 foot. What good's a 6 foot chain link though?
What good is it?
Yeah.
It keeps people out of our property.
Absolutely, but it's not any visual break.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what you're asking.
What I'm asking is if you're going to put machinery back there in the open, okay, it would be nice to have a visual break.
Fill the gaps in the chain link with.
We can do that. We don't want to put it around the whole fence, though. I mean, if that neighbor is, we want to shield that neighbor, we can shield that. And we will put the slats in that's facing the north, whatever, east you said. We'll do that.
Front
But-
section of the fence.
But anything
The one
that,
faces
anything
the
that,
road.
that is not getting interfered with, we don't want to put those slats on it because over time, those things get destroyed. And the wind just takes them like an.
Wait a minute, you're the fence guy. You should.
I
You
wish
should.
we could design something
What about pine
differently.
trees? You know, we could do pines.
And honestly, you know, once the building goes up, when you see our plan for the building around where Tom Drive is, we're going to end up having all pine trees all the way down the front of it.
There you go.
So we're going to,
Did I hear you right? Temporary. You know, you're setting this up until such time as you're able to use another.
no, it's not temporary. No, this is not temporary. This is going to be a permanent yard.
Understood. I apologize.
This is a permanent yard for my son and Marksman Fence material. You know, and the problem is we could have at least $500,000 worth of material there. And when you walk into that property, the way the property sits for the past 30, 40 years, we have cameras there. There's people constantly up and down, walking from Boston State all the way up to the power line. I mean, every day we have people coming in and out of it.
Is that road a private road?
Yeah, it's considered a private road. That's considered Tom Drive. So we have an easement for the two people that own, one that owns a property in the back, and then there's a property beyond the actual power line. So they have an egress ingress, and they use it as a, come in and they can get up to the power line, everyone, and they can walk down the power line, neighbors, walk their dogs up there. So what we want to do is we want to make sure our stuff is secure. And obviously we don't want to let them know what's back. So we are going to protect it as much as we can visually from the road. That's why we're back over 200 feet.
Chain link fence doesn't do that very well.
It doesn't, but if you put the slats in it, it will protect it.
But you're not putting the slats all over it, you said.
I'm going to put slats that's going to interfere with the neighbors. If you're telling me that the one on the northeast side can see it, then we'll put it on the northeast side.
But how about the people that are walking down Tom Drive then?
They're not supposed to be on Tom Drive.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean, come on.
But Tom Drive is a private driveway that we own.
Okay.
MCD Solution owns that. They shouldn't be on there.
Well, put a gate up.
Huh?
Why don't you put a gate up?
Because the guy that lives in the back has to get through there. So we'd have to do an electronic gate for him.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is it's going to be inconvenient for them because if he has people come over and visiting them, we have an electronic gate that they can't get in there, then how are they going to have to get around and walk up? We thought about that, but it wouldn't be fair to the gentleman that just bought the house back there.
Questions, guys?
I just wonder how tractor trailers, you're talking like 18 wheelers are going to be going back there just on that gravel?
Well, it's going to be compact. We're having a site contractor come in and do it.
Okay.
He's going to do it the right way. They're going to put the fiber mesh down. They're going to go whatever they have to do from a layer, maybe number 4 down and crush concrete up to the top of it.
Right.
He knows what our expectations are
Right.
as far as driving
Tonnage.
tractor trailers back there. We're going to have tow motors back there. And it's just used during the day. I mean, and it's not used full time. So
Right.
we may be getting tractor trailers there
Just for deliveries.
just for a couple deliveries. Most of them are commercial jobs that we have that get delivered right to the site. but there's gotta be a place where my son can drop off the trucks and his crew can get in there. So we're gonna have it all fenced off, so anyone walking down Boston State Road, even if they walked up Town Drive, would not be able to get into that area at all.
So let's,
It's not so much what they're able to get into, it's what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, 6 foot, you got 8-foot trucks, there's, you'll know there's trucks back there. There is, almost seems like almost a more than a 90-degree turn. You're running big trucks through there. Lot of turning.
Yeah, we have to obviously go through Erie County and get our culverts changed too.
It's got to be.
So we know
That's,
that.
that's
Okay.
gotta be.
Okay.
And the one that sits on
Town
the
Drive.
left side of the People Incorporated building, right next to
You're talking about the driveway now.
yeah, the driveway. You could get a tractor trailer in there because it's open up wide enough. Coming out of Town Drive is going to be sketchy the way it sits. So we know we're going to have Erie County come in and extend those culverts. And if we're going to do the one, we're probably going to replace the one on the side where the beauty salon is
Okay.
too.
When he was approved? No.
Yeah, we have to make
I'm
sure
assuming
that
that.
obviously whatever we do, we're putting a lot of money into the actual site work itself. And we have to make sure that it's going to sustain what we want to do.
It'd make sense for you around the perimeter, the red line I'm seeing on the picture.
Yeah.
It'd make a lot of sense to put them slats in between.
Yeah.
Okay, they're only gonna last for 2, 3, 5 years. Still makes sense to do it. Do it up front.
The thing with that is, I mean, I think that when you look at where the building's going to be in the back part of it, down the road, Tom Drive when you're coming up Tom Drive on the left-hand side, did anyone go down and see the property, all the big pine trees that are there?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a berm that's going to go down there. That's probably going to be maybe 4 to 5 feet tall. Whatever they scrape off of that, there's going to be a berm that's going to go down that whole front part of it. So when you're coming down from Springville on Boston State Road, you're not going to be able to see anything there with the berm and the trees that are going to be up on there.
yeah, I agree with that. When I drove by and looked at the property, actually, it seemed like you wouldn't know you were there except for that north side.
And the north
Yeah.
side, we don't have a problem
Yeah.
putting the slats on the north.
And
We don't have a problem.
the only concern I have is this piecemeal approach to it. And when we give you the okay to do this, and then what's our control that things kind of creep along. It's like turning the heat up on a frog in cold water, Normally when we approve things, we approve the entire plan. And so we have to have some checks and balances somehow. And Sarah maybe can help me out with that. As far as we're saying, okay, yeah, we'll give you the permission to do the fence and we'll give you the yard. And all of a sudden, man, things change. And then we got to get you somehow, if code enforcement doesn't catch it, we've just given you a carte blanche. And I'm not saying you're a crooked guy by any means. I mean, don't get me wrong on that. But it's happened numerous times where we say, okay, do that. And before you know it, things have gotten out of control.
No, I get that, and I respect that. I mean, the thing that you got to understand too is that when we bought this property, we had to go contingent because we had to make sure that we could get a use variance for the zone that we needed.
Yeah.
Specific.
Yeah.
So when we put the offer in on the property, it was all contingent on going in front of the zoning.
Yeah, okay.
So it delayed all that. And in the meantime, we're trying to figure out what are we going to do long term as far as the building, the site plan and all that. And the immediate need that we have right now is the site. Because my son is running our business out of his house. And that's not in Boston, but his business has grown exponentially over the last 2 years. So he's all commercial now. So we had to figure out what was going to be our next stage from a financial standpoint too. And we would like to come in and give you the presentation for everything, but we're not sure where that building's going to go. We're not sure how big that building's going to be. So we know that with the way that it's zoned right now, it's going to be probably more than 3,000 square feet because we're going to put an office in there. So now we have to go in front of the zoning board again to get that approved, and we understand that. But again, we're not 100% sure if it's going to exceed the size of it. So we're not sure when that's going to happen, that next phase. So if we would have came in here and we would have given you everything and said, this is what our game plan is, and you guys approved it, it may have changed. You know what I mean? So we figured out of the best interest for us is this is our immediate need. We want to put the fence up get everything set up so we can operate on it.
Okay. Let's talk about your building for a second, your potential building. You're going to have an office in there
We're planning on having an office.
with somebody sitting there, a phone secretary, something like
Maybe my daughter-in-law, not full time, but obviously you have to have something where you can, she's running her business out of her house.
Yeah.
You got to sustain a happy life when she's got 2 kids. So for her, it makes perfect sense for us to put an office there. You know, will someone be there full time? I don't know. Probably not.
Mhm.
But there will be someone there just to get away from the kids. That my son can do the estimates, and
Understood.
he can do because like the estimates for him. I
Right.
mean, he's got blueprints that are as big as there.
Yeah.
So right now he's doing it on the kitchen floor with a 2-year-old and an 18-month. Not even 18 months. She's like 9 months, and it's just not
No, I hear.
a happy area.
The actual fence that you have on this diagram is 150 by 150, correct? The building that you're proposing is going to be set inside that?
Inside that.
Oh, okay.
On the topographic map, that's definitely drainage coming through there. There's water that comes down there.
It hits people
So
hard.
are you excavating that all out to make it flat?
No,
Oh.
we're not going to touch that because our site is going to be, if you look at where that site is and where the low spot is on it,
Yeah.
we're good 50 feet off from that. So our building, the lot sits up already right now. So then coming off the power line, it's that natural swell, and wherever it goes, it goes.
The swale's on the left side?
Yeah, if you're looking at it, it comes right off the back.
That's the
side.
ditch? Okay.
Yeah, you can see that it comes down, and wherever it goes, it goes. We're not
Right.
going to interfere with that at all.
If you want, I can get the town engineer involved with the drainage and have him take a look at the plan and make sure.
Do you
that-
think we need to do that now, or or
That's only if you're concerned about the fence and the storage.
he'll.
If it comes through, the town engineer will be reviewing.
That's what I was going to say. And you're going to have to have a drainage plan.
Yeah.
When you put your building up. Okay.
Right now, all we're doing is we're just scraping the topsoil off.
Yeah.
18 inches down, whatever the contractor needs to put the fiber mesh down, the crushed concrete, and it's going to be at the same exact elevation.
The berm you said,
I don't know if you walked it when you were there.
I didn't walk it. I
And
just.
it's pretty dry in that area.
Yeah.
If you walk off the back part where you're talking, it is wet because that's where it comes off of the power.
where's the berm going again on this
The
map?
berm is, if you're coming up there,
Yeah.
you see the blue line on the right hand.
I don't have
have
any,
a
I don't have
color
any
here.
colors.
Can I show it to you?
Driveway, yes?
It's Tom Drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
But this berm, Mark, this berm isn't going up now.
Oh, I thought
Well,
this-
it
I
may
thought-
go up now,
because of the topsoil, right?
because once they scrape the
Right.
dirt off.
Okay.
That's
it-
where it's gonna
it
go.
may come right up there.
Sure.
So it'll be right out of the gate.
So which,
We only got,
Let me just grab one of those perfect.
oh,
Thank you very much.
oh, that helps.
so where's the berm exactly
No, it's
going to
The
go?
berm is going to
Up.
be right here.
On Tom Drive. Okay.
So
That's what I was-
whatever
you're just
gets
pushing that way?
scraped out of here, it's going to be put
Okay.
up here.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Whatever trees are here are going to stay.
Yep.
And then we're going to get the berm flat on the top, and we're going to
All
put
right.
pine trees that are going
Gotcha.
to actually eventually grow up.
Right. All right.
In the minutes, just say discussion.
Berm's
Don't
gonna go like
don't
right
get
here.
excited about what we're talking about here.
I was on the
Okay.
wrong side.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have. That's all I
Yeah.
have as far as the-
Right.
And the drainage is not a huge slope.
Well, what is the elevation on these lines? I can't see it.
Well, it's different.
What
Each
what
one's
is
That's
that?
the
Is that
top.
10
It just
feet?
tells you like,
That's
I
the
know.
top one. We ended up paying Newsom
Yeah.
Clark to do a topo on it. And what that does is it gives you elevation.
Right.
So basically, it's going to give you the elevation is going to be lower here. Where
it
it's
could be a
natural
foot.
grade.
It could be a foot. It could be 5 feet. Depends on
I
what
know,
they did.
that's
it
what
at.
I'm
I
trying to
don't know.
figure
I
out
can't read
because
it.
I don't know what they are, because that could be a big difference.
It's like 84, 86. It's hard to read.
Can you see that?
Barely.
Well, that's going to be an issue for
So that's new some
a total site plan when you do your building.
Yeah.
Can I zoom in?
I said all this stuff, the drainage and everything, that should be an issue when you do your building.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, guys?
I'm right.
So that's 1 foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet.
Yeah, one, two,
Now I'm guessing
three,
they were 10
4,
feet
5,
each.
6. No.
No, that would be.
All right. That would have helped. Thanks.
Sir,
Thank you, Jerry.
I have a question for Sarah. When we did
Sure. What?
the North Boston project I was telling you about, when they put a building in C1,
Oh, Tracy's?
Tracy Hirsch's, okay? They could not have outside storage, and same way with the air conditioning people. They couldn't have outside storage of any vehicles. Okay. But if he got a variance for C2, a use variance, right?
That's a Bob, that's a building inspector question, but Brian, do you agree if he's in a C1, he got a use variance to operate this, which is a C2 use?
And he's got an office in, it's not storage anymore.
Were there any conditions imposed?
For the,
No,
No.
I have a letter if you
No.
want that. That tells you that it's not, there's no conditions on that.
Because this is a storage yard, which is allowed in a C2, but not a C1, so he's.
right. So what we're saying is not seeing the trucks in a C2, really, if he has an office in that building, when he has the building, should be a moot point.
Right, just like the guys down by Zimmerman and Boston State Road on the west side. Remember the building setback across from the old fire hall and the Evans Bank?
Yeah, yeah,
Remember that one?
Yeah.
They have a little office in there.
yes.
They store, well, they don't have trucks. But
The air conditioning place you're
Yes.
talking about. Yeah,
I think it's the same kind of thing.
So when we went in front of the zoning board, and we gave them pictures of stuff that we were gonna have in the yard, because they didn't know what storage yard would consist of.
Yeah.
With our product.
Yeah.
That's what we have, Sarah, is those images. Do we have those same?
yeah. You
images?
sent us like
I don't
17
know.
images or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we
Pictures
have
of-
pictures of the trucks.
material.
Yeah.
You know, and it's basically, it's a F-550 dump truck.
Yeah, no, I saw this. Yeah.
So I mean, that's typically what we presented to them.
All right. As long as you don't start filling with other junk, mobile homes and. I mean, I'm not kidding you here.
Trust me, I laugh because that's not us. We would never do
No, but I mean, that's, the next thing you know, there's
that. It's not gonna be
people's
a
campers and,
place we're gonna rent out for campers to store.
okay, great.
It's
Great.
too important to us for having my son and our business be there.
Yep. Good.
Between both of our houses.
Ryan, do you have any input?
No, I mean, if he constructs a building,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep,
that could be addressed.
absolutely.
That's why we didn't want to jump to it, because we didn't know, we don't want to go in, with both feet, not knowing how deep we are. We want to get what we need so he can get through this year again. And obviously at that point, as we know how we're progressing financially, we'll be able to sit down with Sarah and your group to decide what's our next step to get.
Okay. No, Ryan, my point was, if we're so concerned about the visuals of a dump truck on a piece of property, okay, he may be well within his rights legally functioning under C2 with a building with an office, that he doesn't have to worry about outside parking of those vehicles.
So it's an added benefit that he's got the fence.
Sorry?
It's an added benefit that he has the fence.
Yeah,
We want to make it so no one knows it's back there.
yeah, and like
That's
I
our
said,
biggest thing, and I think we could have put that up on the right side of Tom Drive.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot easier, a lot cheaper for us to do that. But again, at the end of the day, we see the traffic that goes up and out of there.
yeah, sure.
And we know how much money we have tied up in materials that we have for jobs.
Yeah.
And now that we have a spot that we can actually get them, we can buy more smarter, I guess, more financially better for us to get, materials in bulk. Not that we're going to have it a complete storage yard, but we just don't want people knowing what's back there.
Yeah, sure.
That's the last thing we want to do is have people be able to drive in there. It's back far enough, jump in there, and next thing you know,
Chain link
losing
fence
stuff.
is easy to
I
get.
mean, he's doing projects. He's doing a job at the Prairie Projects. And you know how hard it is to have your trucks parked here and go 300 yards and work. You come back and half your stuff's gone.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to do.
Okay, let me ask you one last thing, and I think I'm done. When I was there today or yesterday, whenever it was, and I pulled into the spa. On the south side of the spa, is that your property?
Yes.
Okay.
The south side of the spa?
South side of the
No,
spa.
it's not. No. So if you're looking at the spa,
Okay.
our property's on the right-hand side. So if you look at where the beauty salon is,
Yes.
their concrete driveway goes right up to our property.
Okay.
So it is.
That is south side.
Yeah, that's outside.
That's south side.
It
It
is.
is our south side. So if you look at our plan that we have color coded.
Yeah.
We are going to put I think it's a split rail cedar fence
That's the
along
green,
that.
that's the green line.
Between your property and the
That-
spa.
That will be whatever the code tells us as far as setbacks.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a split rail cedar fence up to the back part of the property and to the left side, or the right side of it going down Boston State Road.
Got it.
And then we're gonna have another gate that'll go right up to where the people incorporated, so no one can drive any vehicles up in there.
Right.
And then we'll have a slide gate as you get around there to get into our lot.
Yep.
And you'll have another slide gate to get out of the lot. So when we leave,
Back downtown drive.
both slide gates and the gate out front.
Right.
If we decide we want to do this gate out front, close it.
Two blue lines in the map show around another lot. Is that lot in the middle of them two blue lines? Is that the spa?
I don't have,
People's
It's
Inc.
people
I don't
Inc.
have any
It's
more.
People's Inc.
That's a blue People Inc. building.
Okay, sorry, my mistake, my confusion. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yep. All right.
Is it-
The spa is in the lower left corner
Green.
of the map that we are looking at.
The green, yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. That was my mistake.
Have you been in touch with the people in that White House?
Up in the back corner?
Yeah.
No, have not. They've seen us out there. We've been out there and they didn't come to the public hearing for the zoning board.
Yeah,
But no, we have not talked to
yeah. Why don't you? I mean, just tell them what you're doing, and like I said, I think we're starting to pick hairs here as far as
Well, what I
you're
can
doing.
tell you, when we closed on the property, it was in December.
Yeah.
And when we walked that property line.
Yeah.
You couldn't even see that.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I'm not telling you that. I mean, we brush hogged it.
Yeah.
So we could clear it out just to kind of get an idea where we're going to be left or right at Tom Drive. And you couldn't even really see that building.
Yeah.
That house.
Yeah.
And obviously you see it now. But yeah, I don't have a problem going over and talking to them.
Yeah, okay. Why don't you do that?
Last thing we
Just to be a good neighbor, and
Long way.
yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, and members of the board, you can make a comment on it. Do we even want him to put slats in the entirety of the fence, or just in that back north corner?
It says you're driving past.
You don't see it. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
it's up to
surprised
the
when I went back there because I couldn't see it.
And honestly, when you look at a black fence, I don't know if you ever seen a black fence.
hardly see it.
Black chain link fence looks
You can hardly see
translucent. So when you're driving by, it's easier to see a galvanized fence as opposed to black, especially up against a tree.
It's not so much the fence itself; it's what's beyond it.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah.
But you got one thing too is the driveway's going to come in there. So most of the materials are going to be more towards the back side of the building when we put the building up on the back side of the lot. Let me say it. Back side of the lot, or it'd be on the right hand side where the berm is.
And the visual piece, I'm looking at some of the images. It almost looks like your dump truck is attached to like a 350, F350.
It's an F550 dump truck,
Okay.
and
I
then we
mean,
have
we're not talking multiple yard kind of a. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So,
No, I know.
right? Have I got the
yeah,
right image?
that's the F550.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we have another 250 utility body. We hope that we get 2 more trucks because that means our business is doing good and growing. But I don't see us having,
When you mention dump truck, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
it's considered it's a 550,
yard,
which is a ton and a half.
Did you wash it? Did you wash it for that picture?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you wash it for that picture? It looks pretty
Well,
nice.
actually, I'm a little disappointed that he didn't have it clean.
All right.
It's like,
Okay, so we have to make a recommendation to the town board. Obviously, you've got your public hearing already scheduled. And sorry for the he said, she said, you go here, you go here, you go here. Okay. And we're trying to rectify that. We've been talking to Sarah, we've been talking to ZBA. What we want to do is get a uniform form that when you're done with us, we just check the box, now go here, and check the box and go here. And you got some bad information, so I apologize for that.
No, I mean,
And thanks for
I
thanks
get
for
it.
hanging
I
in there.
appreciate Sarah taking the time.
She's good.
And honestly, we've called her when she's been in Florida and she picks up the phone, and
No,
I know she has a lot of personal stuff, and I really appreciate you giving us the guidance. The
Yeah.
thing for us is, this has been going on, and like you said, we've been getting pushed in
yeah,
all different directions. His season's starting up right now.
yeah, sure.
And we have the opportunity for the contractor that can start this thing sooner than later.
Yeah.
And the problem is if it gets delayed and keeps on getting delayed, and I'm not using this just to, force your hand. The thing is, it's going to get pushed back on the table.
Yeah.
And he's going to be 3-4 months into it. And now all of a sudden that just pushes everything back. on.
Sure.
It's easy for these guys to do the job now in another month. They're already committed.
You know any good fence people? Okay.
You know,
So-
in another 15 years, if we keep delaying it, the kids will be out of the house.
Well, his goal is he's got to.
Yeah.
His goal is, obviously let him take over the business. Mitchell was telling me this yesterday. We were driving around, and I'm like, dude, just get him the kid.
Well, good. Keep them under your wing. We have to somehow get our information to the town board. And I think the easiest is probably to make a motion so that they read the motions because they won't read all the minutes. Okay. So I would like to make a motion that at this point in time, we approve the plan that was presented to us for the storage with the fencing, with the stipulations. There's no lighting to be put on there. And there is no change in grading. It's going to be as it is. And does anybody have anything else to add to that? And at the appropriate time, when a building is in place, you come back to us for the lighting concerns for the building and for the drainage and the whole site plan approval. Does that sound good? Sarah, you got anything?
No, just that you're recommending the town board approve it.
Yes, we're making a recommendation to the town board. Exactly.
So when does the town meet again? We were just here last.
Your public hearing is in 2 weeks, I believe.
Oh, so it'll be the 18th then?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just come back to the 18th? Yep.
Not to us, to them here. Yeah.
Yeah, so we come back here on the 18th for the town.
Will town board be able to get that scheduled?
They
It already
scheduled it, they scheduled it already.
Yeah, it's already scheduled for the 18th.
Okay.
We came in on, I think it was Wednesday of last week, and they said it was going to get approved to the planning board. So just so I understand, once the 18th is the hearing, then we can go and pull our permit then?
Assuming the board approves it on the
Okay.
18th.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. We've got to finish the motion here. So you got all that, Sarah? Put it in some kind of English.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Something that wasn't mentioned is the front, the slats in the front, fence.
Well,
Along Boston State.
and I just, one thing you got to remember is the gates are going to be up.
Gates are on either side.
So you're going
Front.
to, just in the front part of where that is?
Jay, I would say before you make that a stipulation, go look at the property.
I think
Because-
once you look
Okay.
at it,
Okay.
No, because you will not see it.
Because I haven't,
Yeah.
I haven't done that.
You will not see it.
I will then.
Yeah.
Great.
I promise you, whatever, if the neighbors are not happy because they see something,
Yeah.
we will do our best to put slats in it. Again, we've been around for years. My son's been doing this for over 10 years. When you put slats in and the wind hits it,
Yeah.
it just beats the living.
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
those fences. Did one in Lackawanna that blew over. It was a 6-foot fence.
Really.
So we'll make sure that, and I will talk to the neighbors.
Yeah. And it's not, again, I think what you're putting in there isn't offensive.
Well, does it really have to be a fence?
Well, I think that's up. I would say,
Minimal
Yes.
protection.
Yeah, we want a fence. We want
What's a
gates.
fence?
yeah, no, but
It would have a fence, but
Exactly.
like trees or something.
on the
like
north
that.
side, if you're going to do some plantings, you're going to do any,
We could do that too.
if you don't want to do slats, put some pine trees up,
There
do
are some
something.
nice trees already there.
Yeah.
And obviously, if we have to put smaller pines.
Yeah.
That will grow, we'll do that.
All right. Play nice, huh?
We will.
All right. Appreciate it. Okay. Can I have a second on that motion then?
Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay. So we'll send that just so that the town board knows what we talked about.
Okay.
Just don't please cut corners because it just makes our job hard. Appreciate it.
Promise you that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks
you
for coming in.
your time.
Okay. Good luck.
Want your color one back?
I
I don't know if you gave them all
Hold
out.
on.
can just
Right.
print them out.
Oh,
I
okay.
gotta take this to-
How'd he do? You okay? All right. You can. All righty. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, next item on the agenda is planning board to discuss requested changes to the Boston Town Code regarding minimum residential lot sizes, Mr. Hawkins, I think this is you.
I think it is too.
Fire away, man.
Okay.
Should I set my hourglass timer or are we going to be okay here?
As long as I get more than 3 minutes.
He's taking his coat off.
We'll give you 5.
I know, I'm a little worried.
Okay.
We'll give you 5.
First of all, I'd like to thank the planning board for allowing us to come tonight and express our concerns. I've got a few concerns that
Rich,
would
could you speak more into the mic?
I can do whatever you want. First of all, it's not just Pin Oak and Aspen that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the whole town. The simple fact is the way the code is written for cluster homes and subdivisions and townhouses under section 123-14, under section D, okay, it says the sizes were reduced from 1,500 square feet to 1,100 square feet, okay? In section E1, it talks about the 20 feet in the front yard, 5 feet on each side of the house, with a minimum of 20 feet in the back of the house, okay? And I don't care how we want to cut it. That's a quarter of a lot or a quarter of an acre or even less, okay, if you start figuring that out. The town of Boston, to me, is very unique. I was born in a little town in Steuben County, and there was probably 500 to 600 people in the community. There's probably about 8,900 people in the Boston community right now with the way the growth is going and stuff. If I wanted to live in the city or into Hamburg, I would have moved there. I enjoy the country living. I enjoy the deer running through my backyards and the turkeys and everything else. And if I get pissed off at somebody, I can yell and swear or do whatever I want. And every neighbor in the street isn't hearing what I'm saying. I think we made a serious mistake on Deanna Drive. For one, the fire companies were never notified about that because that's my district and I'm the president of that fire company. There's no spaces between those houses. It's a circle drive. They're already having problems with the snow removal. And if there's a fire, guess what? A lot of those homes are going to go up quickly. I would love to see, if you look at Hickory Meadows, those are probably on about a 3/4 acre lots that Emmerling and built a few years back. I would like to see us raise that minimum lot size to any new subdivisions or townhouses that want to come into the town of Boston, to have them on a minimum of 3/4 acre lots. If you want 150-foot frontage or whatever else, part of the town's code that they had was talking about green space. Okay. We don't have a lot of areas left in the town of Boston that you can put subdivisions anymore. You have the Decker property that's looking there now. And Decker still owns more property down behind the post office, okay, down in that area. If you drove up through there in the last few days, you saw the post office was flooded, as it always is every time that there's a storm. Every time there's a storm, that post office is flooded. And maybe once in a while, you would see Bill Sulak out there with a shovel and a rake trying to clean that drainage out. And if you saw today, you saw the Erie County up there digging ditches along the Boston State Road. Why? We got drainage problems in this town. For years, what we've done is put a Band-Aid on a cut and pushed it down the road. You guys were all there last fall and last winter when they came in here all guns ho about wanting to put that subdivision as fast as possible in it. We all know there are 5-foot culverts the full length of the power line. There's a serious drainage problem in there. And how, no matter what we do, whether it was just this gentleman that was right here, Mr. Dobson, who wants to put a house there by the power line, the planning board told my neighbor that because he wanted to put a pole barn up, and Lisa told him about how much water was coming off that pole barn, how much water there would be in a small area and stuff. You talk up there of 64 homes in that subdivision up there, where's the water going, folks? You can't get it from that side of the road to that side of the road. It's a serious, serious problem. Not only that, most of the residents that live up there right now, including myself, Brent Foster, the McLeans, Bill Bergen, Dr. Hornberger, those people moved up there years and years and years ago. Why they bought that property is because it was zoned agriculture. Not R1, not R2, agriculture. And guess what? If you
right.
rezone that,
About RA.
yep. If you change that, okay, guess what? You're talking a minimum of three acre lots, if I'm not mistaken, building, okay? Makes a big difference in that subdivision, 3 acre lots on single homes instead of quarter acre lots on top of each other. We have to do something with the drainage in the town of doing stuff like that. The changes that we do will affect the whole town. The supervisor has told me that if the code enforcement officer changes the codes and the zones, that every subdivision in this town will be non-conforming because the lots will not be 3/4 of an acre. That's a crock, because those homes were built years ago and stuff. We're talking new subdivisions. You have 3 areas in this town that can be built in this valley. Behind Carl Smith's property down there, you got Decker's property down there, and you got Emmerling's, who has tried to build down by the Boston State Road for years and have had problems. And just as you said, Paul, earlier, you don't want to approve something for maybe a building or storage or whatever else and then have it changed. Okay, and I'll give you a good example. Timmy Hortons was a 3-phase building. There was a building, an office beside it, and there were going to be storage sheds behind. That was almost a 2 to 3 phases. And guess what? You don't have 3 phases down there. And those buildings are now sitting empty. Okay, a subdivision that we allowed to be built on Hillcroft a few years ago. The only way that subdivision got built on Hillcroft is because the fire companies went up there and said, guess what? Those people need water protection because we can't pump the water up the hill. We got no pressure up there. They were forced to put a pond up there with a dry hydrant. That pond is inaccessible. Those people are paying right now 7.9 ISO ratings for their homeowners insurance. 9 is as high as you can get. And why are they paying that? Because they have no water protection. I bet those are $1 million homes up on that hill with no water protection. And I've asked the town board, and I did 2 weeks ago at the town board meeting, can we do?
Cluster housing size?
Huh?
Let's stay on cluster housing size.
Okay.
So, I mean,
All I'm saying is
we're talking about?
we need to think about what we're doing when we build cluster homes and subdivisions in the town.
Rich, let's stop here for a second. Any proposal of a subdivision, if they propose cluster, has to come with another proposal showing a sketch plan for normal size lots without cluster lots. Okay, and it's the community choice. So if you have an R2 and they say, like Deanna Drive, okay, they came in and they said, we want to do cluster. And we said, okay, show us what else you got. And they showed us a god awful plan that they were going to build. Dana Darling had precipitated it. And it was back to back. It looked like West Seneca or Cheektowaga. It was back to back houses with backyards to backyards. And you could drive a golf ball from this end of the subdivision through all the backyards to that end of the subdivision, in addition to a perimeter set of houses also. Okay. So it wasn't like we sit here and say, oh yeah, we're going for that cluster because whatever. And there's no other choices. Okay. The choices were ugly or smaller lots. Okay. And one of the things we made a decision on was bigger lots on that creek with the water are going to be more lawn. They're going to be just more individualized lots that don't really contribute to any space around it. So a decision was made. Okay. Now, where we went wrong on that, and you can keep going back to Deanna Drive, it's butt ugly, and it is butt ugly. Okay. But it shouldn't have been butt ugly because Wetzel started the project and he sold it to Ryan. And Wetzel had a totally different plan, a totally different schematic for houses.
And it
So-
all changed.
And it all changed midstream. All right. So that's the nature of Deanna. So I think we need to get off Deanna. The second thing I want to tell you is, okay, last meeting when you were here, the subdivision that we just approved up on Cole Road. Okay. And your comment was that lady's going to develop and she's going to put in subdivisions. She's going to have, first of all, it's RA up there. Second of all, if you looked at the division that she made, she would be incredibly stupid to divide her property in the way she did if she was planning on putting a subdivision in there. Okay. She divided it right up the center with 2 bowling alley lots that go all the way back. Not conducive to a subdivision at all. So there's got to be a reality check here as far as what is the actual thorn in your side and what is false news. Okay. And I don't want to hear false news. All right. So that's my saying here. Keep going.
Well, the simple fact is, what do we do with the drainage problem? Okay. We have all these residents here and every one of them can get up, and you've been over there numerous times. Most of you know the drainage problem. The engineer talked about putting drainage across the top of that field going that way. Well, all you're doing is moving the water farther down towards the post office to make farther problems down the road. We cannot continue to build stuff and then find a problem. And I was a supervisor back in 2008. There was a flood. If anybody remembers that whole valley down there, Nicky Charlaps and Thornwood Drive, where the subdivisions are down in there. Another gentleman who ran for the highway superintendent in Hamburg this past year, his house was all flooded. Why? Because 18 Mile Creek, houses close to the creek. That was one of the things you just talked about of lots, okay? It doesn't take much for a tree to come down in 18 Mile Creek, and there's a big one right now behind Nicky Charlaps.
I'm going to go back to
I know you're going to going back to the subdivisions. I'm telling you, we need to stop putting a Band-Aid on something and go to 3/4 acre lots. People don't want to live on 1/4 acre lots out here.
Which I agree with you. I'm just reading the code here as you're talking. We're talking about, we're going for a cluster housing. We decided it was a good idea way back whenever it was, to go from a 1/3 acre lot minimum to a 1/4 acre lot. Gee, that's probably a good question to ask. You know, that's what you're talking about in terms of what we got on the agenda.
Well, I think New York, that comes from New York State though, too. I mean, Boston just didn't sit around and make that up.
No, and listen, they
The
came
cluster
from
housing
Hamburg.
came from the state.
If you go to Hamburg right now, you'll see Hamburg has the exact same code that we do. Okay, the exact same code. And that's why that housing was built. Shunk got that approved in the 60s, and it just got built, folks. That came up in the 60s and the 70s, and it just was approved. And as you said, the simple fact is that if you'd have known that was going to change from the homeowner that was developing that to what it is right now, probably would have never been approved.
You're right. No, you're probably right.
It would
have been approved, but it would have been approved with change.
But there would have been many changes on it. Okay,
Before
let's not build a subdivision in town and have the problems that we're having, and then we come back here 10 years from now and say, "Wow, geez, maybe Rich was right."
Okay, hold your water here. Ryan McCann, our town attorney. I would like you, if you could, to just talk a little bit about what's involved in doing this, what the implications are for the town, what the cost benefit is for the town, what in light of affordable housing that the state is pushing, in light of the fact that we just finished a comprehensive plan, how does this all play into what he's talking about now?
Can I ask a question before you start talking?
Sure.
Are we talking about just increasing the minimum lot size for cluster housing, or are we talking about the entire town?
No, I'm talking about cluster houses and subdivisions. I'm not talking about single dwelling homes, because we have a lot of lots
Right,
that
so-
are in town that are not 3/4 acre lots. The one you just approved on the Boston State Road, which they're putting in there sideways because the lot is not large enough. And that was one of the
Rich, we didn't approve that. That wasn't ours, Rich.
I'm staring at the code right here.
What I'm talking about is cluster homes and subdivisions.
1/3 is the minimum lot size for R2 and R3. I'm sorry, R3 and then R2. R1 I didn't look at. Okay, so when you do cluster housing, it reduces it from 1/3 to 1/4. That to me seems like something reasonable that we'd be able to do. To go through the R1 and R2, those seem to be larger, more, there's more coverage to it. This is this 123-141, regulations governing cluster housing, section D, minimum lot size. Okay, we look at that and we see where, okay, it's going from 1/3 to 1/4, where it's R2 and R3. Is that what's up there? Just out of curiosity?
R2.
It's
It's
R2.
well,
So,
it's half, right?
they're able to
Both.
do that
R2 and R8.
because
both,
it's
right?
cluster housing.
I would like to know how you can even say that it's R2.
It sounds like the direction we want to go, perhaps, is
both,
to
right?
take the 1/4. And no, we need to almost eliminate, read through it in detail, but eliminate item D in 123-141. Seems like that would be the direction to go.
Why?
And now I'll shut up.
Yeah, let's let.
Thank you.
So
Why can't we go?
Brian,
Why
go
couldn't
ahead.
we go on 3/4 acre lots? And if we're just talking Pin Oak and Aspen, okay? And like I said, I'm concerned about the whole town. I know that the town clerk just looked in the records and the records and the records, and they cannot even find when this property that Mr. Decker owns up there was even changed from agriculture to what it is right now. They've looked back and looked back and looked back. Okay, so my point is, how can you build on something that you don't even know what it's zoned?
That's not something this board can address. I hear you.
This board is addressing building something on something that may not even be adequate to build on.
So let me just address the
Go ahead, Ryan,
application.
please.
So Mr. Hawkins submitted a petition that was signed by a number of residents. And that petition seeks essentially two forms of relief. He's asking for, or I shouldn't say he, they are asking for an increase in the lot size to 3/4 acre lots, and then an increase in the frontage to 200 feet. And there's no specificity in terms of applying to only certain zoning districts. It seems to me that it was just a blanket regulation, if you will. What the town board did is they referred the petition to this planning board to essentially conduct an investigation and then make a recommendation similar to what you do with site plan approvals. You make a recommendation, but ultimately the town board is the only board that can amend the law. The process would be if once a recommendation is made, and assuming that the recommendation was that we should make some changes to the code, then the town board would first have to go along with that. Okay, just because you make a recommendation does not mean that the town board has to go along with that recommendation. But assuming they go along with that recommendation, then the town board would have to comply with seeker. The matter would have to be referred to Erie County. The town board would ultimately have to hold a public hearing. And then eventually, if it was ultimately enacted, then it would have to be filed with the New York State Department of State. I mean, that's the process overall. But I think what you have to understand is the practical impact of this type of proposal. Currently in the residential districts, and I just have these printed out here. So 3/4 acre lot is equivalent to about 32,000 square feet. And so currently in the R1 district, you're allowed to build on a lot size of 20,000 square feet. And the frontage required in an R1 district is 100 feet. So essentially you're doubling both the lot requirements and the frontage requirements. In an R2 district, you're required to have 15,000 square feet. So you're more than doubling the square footage required for the lot size, and it's 75 feet of frontage for R2. So it's a substantial increase. But that's, just because it's a substantial increase doesn't mean that it's not appropriate. Again, you have to, essentially conduct an investigation and then make a determination, weigh the pros and cons, and make a determination as to whether or not you feel it's appropriate for the town board to consider these amendments. So I do agree that existing lots would be protected, but any new subdivisions would have to comply with these requirements. So from an affordable housing standpoint, the concern that we would have that it would, exclude lower income housing, right? Because the bigger lots, you're generally going to have bigger houses, which means they're going to be more expensive. And, that's one concern. You also have to have a rational planning basis. And what is a rational planning basis? It has to be in line with the comprehensive plan. And a lot of time and effort was put into the most recent comprehensive plan that was adopted just this year. It actually won an award. And so I would urge you to review that comprehensive plan. And with respect to, this particular request, and ensure that it's in line with this request. Let me see. So, just from a development standpoint, if there are going to be any other subdivisions that are put in, you have to remember that it's less lots, which means that less houses, which means less money. So, that's going to be taken into account with respect to, having builders come in here. What's the incentive? They have to make it worthwhile for their investment. And by increasing the frontage and also increasing the lot size, you're probably, cutting the project in half. That's just speculation on my part. I have no evidence, or data to back that. But it's just something that needs to be taken into consideration by the board. So I would urge the board to do their due diligence and then make a determination. The board. Any questions?
Are we talking about having a 3-acre lot being the smallest lot anywhere in the town allowed, or only related to
Cluster homes and subdivisions.
He's only talking
way
about
it's written.
cluster, but
That's
you
right.
mentioned the whole town.
However, the minimum lot size is not 1/4 or 3/4 of an acre. The minimum lot size is closer to a half acre.
No.
20,000 feet, Rich.
Listen,
according
you
to code,
just
20,000
show you right on the writing, they went from 15,000 feet to 11,000 square feet. Okay. What's 11,000 square feet? If you figured out it's a 1/4 acre,
So that's
that's allowed in it, and you can't stop it because it's there in writing.
So
Sarah,
That's in
go ahead.
cluster.
Finish, Sarah.
still don't have the answer to the question,
I see what you mean.
because what you wrote, what you read, all lots in the town,
Yes.
any subdivisions have to be 3/4 an acre. But Rich is saying is
Sarah,
only,
what I'm reading in the town code. Okay,
Rich,
please.
let her
Ryan,
finish. Wait, let her finish. Go ahead.
well, no, do you see what I'm saying?
The for R1, the minimum lot size.
Robert's
of-
rules, she is speaking.
Let her talk.
Be
Let her
quiet.
finish. Jay, come on.
No, I know
Sorry, I thought you finished.
what I'm saying is, do you get my question? Oh, if
I
we're
do.
just talking about clusters, so then the R1, R2, R3 minimum lot sizes remain? Is that what you're saying?
What
If
I'm
someone
saying
does a
is all
subdivision-
cluster housings that we agreed with on Deanna Drive and subdivisions. Okay, new subdivisions.
So what if the subdivision's in an R2 zone?
That,
Do
that,
those have to be 3/4 acre?
check. Could somebody please check and see what the size lots are on Hillcroft? Check. I don't mean Hillcroft, but Emerling's project that's right up across from Capolino's. It does matter because those homes are spread out, they're spaced enough, and they're not on top of each other.
Existing rules.
Jay, rules are built when you do something, and they're also can be changed. just because that rule is in the books right now doesn't mean that maybe it was right when it was written, but it doesn't mean that it's right now. If you want to live in the city, move to the city.
I agree with you, Rich. I agree with you. What I'm talking about is what we're changing, okay? The rules that exist now, okay? The stuff that's already been built, you want to call it grandfather, you can call it anything you want, but it exists now.
We're not changing that.
We're talking about the
We're not
rules
changing
for
that.
things into the future, yes?
Exactly.
Okay. The existing rules right now for R1, the minimum lot size is less than a half an acre. The minimum lot size for R2 and R3 is a third of an acre. To suggest that we change all of the minimum lot sizes to 3/4 of an acre means we increase the minimum lot size across the board everywhere.
No,
Yes,
No, you're wrong.
I'm sorry.
You're wrong.
Yes.
You're wrong.
That's
Time
what's-
out,
You're
guys.
wrong.
Come on.
you're
Let's
wrong.
get back here.
It's written, no, I think is what you're
Ryan,
saying,
can you
right?
answer my question?
That's the way it seems.
It wasn't specific. That's,
Okay, all right,
that
all right.
was part of the issue is I really didn't know what it applied to. I mean, if it's just applying to subdivisions in general, then it would apply, in my opinion, to R2, R3.
To everything.
Everything.
Okay.
It's everything.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The town adopted a cluster subdivision article in their code, not by necessary necessity, and the town could probably, if I'm misspoken, tell me, but could probably, easiest thing is just to say, we're not going to do clusters. Okay, but that is not actually needing to be done. Because if somebody comes in and says we're doing clusters, we can say, no, you're not, because they have to show us an alternate plan. But be careful what you ask for on that, because the alternate plan for Deanna Drive was way worse than what you got already. Okay, so I don't know, Rich. I mean,
My concern is for the future of the town of Boston. I love this community. Okay. Talking to the supervisor, as the town attorney does and as Jason does all the time. Okay. He may be the town attorney, he may be the supervisor, but he's not always right. And neither am I, and neither is anybody else. The simple fact is the supervisor has already told everybody that when Erie County gets through doing phase 2 water project, which is up the Boston State Road that we're doing right now. Okay. Once that phase is done, Erie County Water Authority is taking over the water districts, taking them over completely. Okay. And they are not looking to extend any water districts. So if you don't extend any water districts, how do you build? Because all new houses and stuff right now have got water, sewer, and underlying electricity. And you also have to look at if that subdivision is built down there, you just allowed Deanna Drive to be built, okay? Where does that water come from? Which tank? And which tank would Hillcroft or Pin Oak and Aspen, which tank would that water come from? We already know that the tank that's up on the hill that was built for those people up there, half of them got it. Why? Because the tank was never built big enough, or the water tank. You start draining all the water into this valley and keep adding on and adding on and adding on, and don't make the tanks and the water supply big enough, you're jeopardizing this whole valley. So maybe you should think about that.
Are we talking about preventing growth?
We have to have growth, because the only way that this town is ever going to grow and our taxes are going to stay within the boundaries that they need to do is to have housing in here. But we
that's
don't.
another, hold on.
That's a whole nother issue.
Yes, it is.
Cost of community services is involved in the revenue that's exceeding, or that's being taken in by the taxes. Is there a balance? Is there a loss? Years ago, below it, priced houses, a house was not an asset to the community. It was a necessity, but not an asset. Cost of community services overrode. Now that the houses are in $500,000, $750,000, it's probably a benefit to it. Okay, but there's no statewide or countrywide analysis that I know of that's been done since 1990. In 1990, they said you build a house, and all the other politicians say, yeah, tax base, tax base, tax base. It's a line of baloney, because tax base
is not offsetting the cost of community service.
You're right. Absolutely
Now,
correct.
that's another analysis that has to be taken into account. So let's get rid of this tangents that were going on. And I think what we need to do is, and I'm gonna make a motion, okay, with this item, do you have anything else to bring to the table, Rich? Any other documents?
Nope.
Okay. And I think what we need to do is table this item for tonight. Everybody go home, do some hard thinking on it. You put the thinking cap on. Next time we'll make a recommendation, next meeting we'll make a recommendation for the town board. I really don't have to let you, but I'm gonna, if you keep it short.
In that petition, my name's Roy McLean. I live on Pinnock Drive. You know, I'm hearing a lot. You know, I haven't been to every planning meeting. There's only been a handful of them, but I've been to a few board meetings now and listened to this meeting. And it seems like we look at a lot of things in a very small bubble. Look at this one particular project with the guy with the fence company. And, oh, there's a berm, there might be drainage, there might not be, whatever. Everything appears to be looked at individually. And I'm sorry, but as a planning board, I would expect you all to look at the cumulative, the total impact of what's happening within the town. And the more construction that we have, it seems the less adherence or looking at anything to do with drainage is part of that puzzle. So I'm confused as the planning board's charter, right, is to make sure this all happens correctly. You do it in the best interest of the town and so forth. We follow other appropriate codes. If you're looking at the whole thing, why is there not a significant portion of that time spent on what's going to happen to the drainage? I don't care what kind of homes you build on whatever, whether it's Pin Oak or anywhere else. It doesn't appear to me that any of those individual projects were looked at in the grand scheme of things to say, well, how will that impact drainage across the town? Drainage is a real problem. It's not a fantasy problem or a future potential problem. Excuse me, can you please let me finish? Thanks. 2 hills and a valley. Don't even get me started on that, right? We should be experts at handling drainages in this town, and we're the worst at it. We got the highway supervisor sends water wherever he wants. The town board can't really do anything with that. And they only control this and so forth. And the code says that about drainage. No one's looking at it holistically. And that's what should be happening. The town board has a moratorium on solar and battery energy storage systems. How many fires have we had from battery energy storage systems in the town of Boston? How many solar panels have leached chemicals into the ground? 0. It's a fantasy problem that might exist, but yet there's a moratorium that no solar and no battery energy storage systems can be built because there might be a problem, maybe in the future, maybe. We have a real problem with drainage that's been happening for years. Projects keep getting approved. No one's looking at the cumulative impact of all those drainage situations. So my ask is, yeah, you should think about the size of the lots. That makes a lot of sense. Building houses on top of each other, you said it yourself. Deanna Drive, it's ugly. It's not what anyone wanted, but somehow it got built and it's there now and we have to deal with it. Another project gets built on Pin Oak Drive, whatever it is, are we looking at the impact that will have on drainage to the whole town? My estimation is right now, no. Ryan, you brought up the comprehensive plan. Where is it in the comprehensive plan where it looks at drainage across the valley as the place expands and we build more houses? It's not. It's not comprehensive because it's not in the plan. It's very disappointing. I've read through it in detail. It's a few spelling mistakes. It's great that we won an award. But the reality is it's not comprehensive because it doesn't address the one problem that everyone in the valley can agree on. We have drainage problems. Planning boards in place to make sure that things are done right. I'd like to consider the lot size being larger, will allow for more green space. It doesn't always mean that the house just gets that much bigger. Yes, that can happen. That's not always the case. There's plenty of lots around here and in Hamburg and other communities where there's large lots that don't have, 75,000 square foot homes on them. That's not reality. People want green space. So you can't just say bigger lot must mean bigger house must mean. And I don't know about you, but if I'm a developer building homes, I'd much rather build $750,000 homes versus $180,000, $200,000 homes that are packed together. That's everything about that is problematic. You have to use the cheapest products and everything else to make it as low cost as possible. Look at all the construction companies that are doing the best financially. They're building big houses or nice houses with high quality stuff, right? So I don't believe in the economics of, there's less money in it for the developer. But I just ask you to look at the lot size. It makes sense to make it larger, keep more green space, less homes. But simultaneously, if you're not doing that in concert with a real comprehensive drainage plan, then I think we're missing the point. Thank you.
We have an application for the planning board, if you'd like.
I'll take.
Come on up. Sign up. Okay, do we have any other comments, questions?
Yeah, I've been kind of quiet, but I understand where they're coming from. I mean, it's bugging me with these, and to go to the drainage issue, whenever I review a plan, I ask for the topographical maps, and many times they're not provided. This one was, but I couldn't read the lines on it, so I couldn't tell. But I kind of stand with them a little bit on that, and I think the town should be, it's my opinion, and I think the town should evaluate that, because I'm getting the feeling that when developers come in here, they're taking advantage of our code. And we're the little guys, and with Paul on the board, and I do feel that when these plant developers come in, they take advantage of us because they think we're not going to push back. And I can tell you, ever since, I couldn't do what Paul does, but ever since Paul became chairman, we're pushing back as a town.
Biggest house that you can on the smallest lot that you possibly
and they
can.
do that, and I feel that
Get
when they
that
come
large
into,
area.
and I understand where they're coming from. So I think if we consider it, I would recommend to the town board that they evaluate the size of the lots, because I'm up on Cole Road. I don't care, I mean, everything I do goes down to you guys.
You're absolutely right.
I'm worried about the snow in my driveway. I go, it's going to go down to my neighbors, down on the bottom. But, I do think that is something that should be considered. And I do get that feeling. And I do feel that developers try to get as much as possible in the smallest space possible. And even up on Cole Road, I mean, I've been here for 20 years. 25 years. You could walk down Cole Road. If I come back at midnight, I'm running across cars, and they're not doing 40 miles an hour. They're doing 55, 60, 65. I'm on my motorcycle and I'm doing 60 miles an hour. There's a guy on my tail. I'm not going fast enough. And I understand the residential thing, but I think we moved out here the same reason you moved out here, Rich, is we liked the Allegheny type of feel, as my wife and I used to call it. So that's just my opinion, and you can take it for what it's worth.
I'll just say one thing here, and it's going to aggravate the hell out of a lot of you people. My question is, every time a development happens, every time a subdivision goes in, you get people standing up and yelling and screaming, "Hey, I used that property for 50 years. My kids grew up in that field." Well, good for you. Okay? You got free use for somebody else's field for 50 years. And my other question is, what did your development look like before it was a development? Okay? So you can't have it both ways, guys. You can't have it that, and I agree with you that drainage is a problem. Drainage has always been a problem in this community. Okay? And if you come to some planning board meetings and other meetings, you find out that the town has engineers that look at drainage plans and try to do the best they can with it.
No comprehensive plan. I appreciate that slithering that I do. I have a comprehensive plan. It's a different story. It just doesn't look at each and everything on its own. You'll be able to get it through the code and do whatever, and you're okay. There's no list for big plan.
You know what the big plan was for the last 40 years? Get the water into the creek as fast as you can. And I live on the creek. And in 2008, what you were talking about, okay, I had a log dam in my backyard that was 20 feet high and 40 feet long. And I got no help from the town. Okay, so I know where you guys are coming from.
That's not true. I had a developer come in and take 3 major spots out of that creek.
Yeah, I was baloney rich, because I'll tell you what I call Lisa Rudin. I said, get down here and look, because these aren't my
That was
logs.
when Lisa was in charge.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go into that, okay? This is done. So I'm going to make a motion here that we adjourn the meeting. Well, I can't adjourn the meeting. Adjourn this, stop this topic.
We still got a minute.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'd really like to get some specific elements. Someone needs to provide that document.
Well, you guys can pick for it. Like I said, you're gonna have to pitch for the planning for everybody that wants. Anybody who doesn't like the job that we're doing, sign up for the planning board. Okay, next. We will, table this motion, or table this topic, and I'll make a motion to table it.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll have a discussion next meeting, and we'll make a recommendation for time. Thanks for coming in, guys. Okay, next item on the agenda is,
Did we vote on
yeah, we did.
Oh.
We-
that? Oh, I heard the second. I didn't hear the I part.
Next item on the agenda is the passing of the minutes. The last meeting, are there any corrections, deletions, or additions? None? Can I have a motion?
I'm
to
good.
accept the minutes?
I'm going to accept February minutes.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Ryan, do you have anything else from the board for us?
I think, brother.
Sarah? Anything else? Anyone?
Town liaison?
Liaison. I'll bet you are. All right. Can I have a motion adjourned?
I will move that we adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Amen.
Ryan, thanks so much. Appreciate you coming. Okay.